An historic bill at the state capitol this evening.
Utah is attempting to do something novel and do something great.
People outside of Utah would never imagine that our state would lead on LGBTQ rights, but we have.
In order to protect LGBTQ people, we don't have to deny religious liberties. And in order to provide protections for religious liberties, we don't have to deny LGBTQ people. The idea that we do is a fallacy that Utah has dismantled.
When you are working with LGBT rights in a state like Utah, and you want to advance legal equality, you can't do it without working with Republicans, with conservatives, with people of faith. Utah is one of the most conservative and religious states in the country.
For over half a decade, Equality Utah worked to establish non-discrimination protections in employment and housing, and every year at the state legislature, it either got shot down or shut down.
The first big breakthrough came in 2015 with the introduction of a bill called SB 296. SB 296 protects lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender Utahns from discrimination in employment and housing.
The heart and the core of the negotiations was, can we balance LGBTQ rights and religious freedom? The key to passage was our willingness to engage each other and to always demand common ground and mutual respect.
As I went through the process, it was actually kind of life-changing to me, because I felt before, as I was trying to protect my religious beliefs, and that going through this process, I actually felt like I was living my religion.
This was truly a bipartisan effort, and not only were we starting to bring Republicans on board, we had our loyal Democrats at our side.
When it comes to religious liberty and when it comes to non-discrimination for LGBT people, we are there together.
It took 7 years of patience and conversation and relationship building to pass SB 296.
Governor Gary Herbert could not wait to show off Utah's new anti-discrimination law.
I do believe that what we've done here will become a model for the rest of the country of how they too can resolve these issues in their own respective states.
One question, how cool is this?
Some people call this the Utah Compromise, and I actually don't like that term, because no one compromised anything. We simply gave additional rights to the LGBTQ community, and we gave additional rights to the religious community.
After the first big breakthrough, we realized that we had built these meaningful relationships with all the key stakeholders in our state. We weren't done.
We passed pro-LGBTQ education laws, LGBTQ inclusive hate crimes laws, and we have successfully protected minors from the harmful and dangerous practice of conversion therapy.
Over the last 4 or 5 years, as the laws have changed, you see a huge shift in the culture as well. It's not just we have legal protections, but now the LGBTQ community is being treated differently by their neighbors, by their family.
Okay, go! These changes that protect LGBTQ people mean a lot to me as a person who is now married to my wife and who has an almost 5-year-old son, and it means for us that our family is protected.
I think we built a strong foundation in the state of protecting LGBT Utahns. Of course, more work has to be done.
We still have challenges, and there is so much more for us to do, particularly around transgender issues. Whenever legislation impacts a community, we're at the table, helping to shape it.
This was something that was years in the making. It's a process of going to the Capitol and showing our legislators that this is what the LGBTQ community looks like. I think that brings so much value.
What happened in Utah with the Utah Compromise was clearly a miracle. Very rarely will you get to see an opportunity where the faith-based community and the LGBTQ community and the business community could all come together and peacefully coexist. I think that should be the goal of all of us.
There are naysayers. There are people who don't believe that religious liberty can coexist with LGBTQ rights. That's simply not true. We have proven that here in Utah time and time again. And if we can do it in Utah, we can do it throughout the entire country.